Hey everyone. So, if you're anything like myself, a sensitive young man watching the world go to doom, you'll probably understand the title of this video, which is that it has never been easier to become great at something. And the reason I say this is because if you look at any young man in his 20s, there is most likely one thing happening in his life, and that's him chasing a college degree for a job that will most likely get replaced in the next 20 years. Now, I didn't make this video just to dunk on college degrees, although literally everybody today, like every single person I know, goes to college, which means that eventually a college degree will be as meaningful as a high school degree. If everybody is rich, no one is rich, and so kind of the same tactic applies here. But regardless, he's chasing this super hard college degree so he can get a job that will either get him replaced by a migrant, like a couple of years down the line, replaced by AI, or it's just like a job that he absolutely hates and despises going to every day for like a mediocre paycheck. Because realistically speaking, nobody can make enough money for a job to actually like buy a house, buy a car without having like these extreme loans. And so the majority of young men today are chasing these absolutely meaningless stuff, you know? It's not like chasing a college degree in the 90s. It's completely different nowadays. And so, this is a kind of pessimistic start to the video, but I really don't view it that way. At the end of the day, no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, you're not gonna make it going down the classical route of like finishing high school, going to college, getting a job, buying a house. Like that doesn't exist anymore. It's a fantasy. And so, no matter how much you work, no matter what you do, it's not going to work out. And in that sense, the sooner you realize that, the easier it will be for you to chase what you actually want. Because the bottom line is, nothing you do will matter in this world, at least not today. And so you might as well do something you actually enjoy and something you find worthwhile and like actually makes sense to you. Otherwise, you're probably just wasting your time. Because again, you literally have nothing. You don't have a family. You most likely won't have a family because of the economy. Nobody wants to have kids. You don't have any mouths to feed. You don't have a wife that needs to be taken care for, or a husband, regardless. And so you literally have nothing to lose. All you have to do is feed your own mouth. Make enough money just to survive, basically, which you can do with like a part-time job. But anything more than that, in my opinion, is an absolute waste of time. And so, I wanted to make this video in the context of art, but it really applies to anything. Like whatever you find yourself being really passionate about, I think you should go for it. The only realistic way of escaping this hellhole of a life is doing something so absurdly delusional that it somehow ends up working because you enjoy it so much. And so, it's either that or sending 20 applications to McDonald's and getting rejected. So, I mean, you kind of choose your poison. I'm not saying that going down this route of doing whatever is guaranteed success. As a matter of fact, you're most likely not going to make it doing what you love. But you're definitely not going to make it when you go to a job, when you get a job and all that. So in my opinion, when you weigh the risk to reward ratio, I think it's the only definitive answer that actually makes sense. And so at the end of the day, the goal is to become so admirable at what you do that people just can't help but notice you. And the end goal obviously isn't to be admired, because that's pretty egotistical. Although I find it pretty cool to be admired by someone for what you do. Although the admiration should really be as a siphon for you to actually monetize your craft. If people love what you do, there are so many ways, if you master a craft, to actually monetize it in today's world. You can teach it to somebody, you can just sell your product, you can sell a platform that does something with the product. Like there are so many options once you master your craft, which, like I said, is definitely hard, but it's not impossible because so many young people aren't even trying. So many young people have given up before it even started. And so if you actually look at how many people are trying to make their dreams come true, it's a very small percent. Like, people will tell you, yeah, I'm chasing this, I'm chasing that, but nobody's really chasing anything, right? They're only saying, like, in the future, when I'm financially stable, when I get a job, when that's never going to happen, you know? And you're only going to have more and more stuff to do as you get older. You know, you're going to have more responsibilities. Life's only going to get harder. You're going to have less motivation. So you might as well take these unemployed years and actually make the best of them. But yeah, this was a kind of shorter video than usual. I already made one similar to this, but I feel like people should really hear this, because not that many people are actually pursuing what they want, despite actually like telling themselves they're pursuing it. Nobody's really pursuing what they want. And so whatever you're doing, I honestly think that the bar for greatness has never been lower, because despite the growing population of the world, less and less people are trying in life. And so it's really a win-win situation. Whether you make it financially or not, you're still going to end up doing what you love. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'll see you next time.